Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Coffee with Tea. I'm your host, the amazing Tea Street. I'm really excited this morning because it's Friday. I'm so excited to have Friday here. It doesn't mean anything because I'll be on a plane at 6:45 in the morning, but Friday needs to come. I'm tired this week. So I'm going to close out the week talking about don't skip the process of building your camp. I was having this conversation yesterday with some young people. We were talking about the efficacy of choosing well the people with whom you surround yourself and asking them, do they believe the old people's adage of show me the five closest people to you and I will show you your future? My grandmother used to say it to me. My mother used to say it to me. And some of them acknowledge that they've heard it either from their parents or from their grandparents, some of the young people that we were talking to. And I asked them, do they believe that? And they're like, no, I don't believe that because, like, just because my friends do something doesn't mean I'm going to do it. And so I started asking them the things that they do. And I said, well, do your friends do those things? Do you all go to the mall together? Do you do these things together? You do these things together? And have you ever made a decision that wasn't a wise decision based on the fact that your friends were doing it? And every single one of them had to acknowledge that indeed that had happened in their life. And so I acknowledge that not only are their friends of influencers on them, they have the opportunity to also be influencers on their friends. And so it's not just, oh, your friends are the problem. Sometimes you're a part of the problem in a friendship circle. And so I was talking to them about the efficacy of building your camp. The people who surround you matter. And so we had a great discussion about that. And so they were telling me that, I said, who are the adults that are in your camp? And they kind of told me, and it was all the people who stroked them. And it was amazing for me to hear young people believe that your affirmation of them is the only way that you can truly be in their corner. And so I challenged that assertion by saying to them, so you only want people to tell you that you're right. And they were like, well, yeah, I mean, nobody wants somebody who puts them down. I said, is telling you that you're not right, is that putting you down? I had a great discussion about how we choose the people around us. And so they said, well, Misty, how do you choose the people in your circle? I said, well, I don't do circles. I do a camp. I said, I do a camp because people who are in a circle or like this, people who are encamped around me, it's almost like a U. And so I don't really do circles. I do a camp. And I say, one of the things that I try to be is sometimes I try to be the person on the end of other people's camps too. Because what I know is when you're in a camp, people are going to flank you. They're going to flank you in the storm, but they're also the people who are going to lift you above their heads when they're celebrating. And they said the things that I look for aren't the people who continually tell me that I'm right. I said, I never, when you struck me, and what y'all call gaslighting, when you gaslight me, it makes me not trust you because I don't believe that I'm always right. So how you choose your circle matters. I said, do you think that I'm in your circle? And the young people were like, well, no, because Miss T, sometimes you be bugging, you be tripping. I said, I know. I said, do I bug and trip for the sake of bugging and tripping? Well, no, I mean, but man, you be riding us sometimes. I said, do you think that I care about you? Well, yeah, yeah. I said, so when I'm pushing you, you see that as something to not be trusted. I said, so I'm only in your camp if I'm like, rah, 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 go kids, go young people, go, go, go. I said, but when I say, I'm sorry, that's not acceptable. I'm not in your camp. Who you surround yourself with matters. Me, personally, I surround myself with people who cheer me on when I'm right and who challenge me when I'm not. Because I want to be the best version of me and push back that pressure builds that. And so I was talking to kids about making sure that there are people who cheer you and who support you and who celebrate you, but that those same people are the people who say, whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't want you to step on this landmine. Don't do that. That's not a good idea. It wouldn't be prudent at this juncture. So, whatever you do today, be cognizant that just because people are pressuring you doesn't mean that they're not in your camp. Sometimes they're the people who are building the fire that will ward off the animals. So I'm the amazing T Street. Nothing amazing in me that's not in each and every one of you. Go have an amazing day.